Growing up, when I was 7, I lost my second front tooth, and it was ankylosed, so I never had a grown-up front tooth come in, and so I was toothless until 8th grade. I was missing one front tooth, and I had braces on, and they were trying to pull it, but it wound up pulling my other teeth up. And why I was able to go until 8th grade without a front tooth, it was pretty bad. So I had some issues, and definitely some psychological insecurity. And then I had a flipper made with the front tooth put on and had the braces taken off. And I remember walking into my math class. I had gone to the dentist, got my flipper, came back into my math class, and everybody clapped for me, and I was like, oh, that didn't feel good. So anyway, it started out that way, and then I had the flipper for a long time until I got married, and we were trying to do something more permanent. So I went through a couple of different Maryland bridges that kept popping off, and one time I was at work, and my tooth fell out, and just a lot of insecurity with my smile. So I wound up doing a lot of cover-up, talking like this, or just choosing not to talk or jump into a conversation. And so once my children were older, I was able to convince my husband, let's try this process again. I went to see an orthodontist, got braces put on, and to help fix my bite, because it wasn't just the front tooth issue. I have other dental issues with my back teeth not touching, and in seeing other dentists and orthodontists, they had told me things like I needed to have my jaw broken, I needed to have part of my tongue cut off, shaved off, I mean, extreme things. So again, all of that building up insecurity, and then thinking some extreme fix, so it was just better to leave it alone, and also the expense. And then I was at a hopeless state. I was very hopeless that I could even have a normal smile. And then I was also feeling guilty about all the money we had spent on braces, and in the past with Maryland bridges, and that I just was at a point where I didn't care and didn't think anybody could fix. And even other dentists and orthodontists that I had gone for a consultation didn't have any idea really what to do. They just said, well, we can try this or do that, but nothing concrete, or not even a game plan after the second step. So I came in here and feeling that way, but I was encouraged by your confidence that I could have a smile that I would be happy with. And you never misled me to believe it was easy. You said this will be a process, a long process, but this is the first few steps, and then this is what I foresee after that we'll do. And the healing time of some of the teeth that had to be taken out, and some of the implants putting in, was just up to me and how long that would take. And so I felt good that I at least had a game plan and somebody confident enough to take me on. And so it started with getting my braces off, and immediately coming in here to get a flipper, and having some teeth removed and get a flipper put in, and then the process started there. My bottom line coming in here was to have a bite where I have functional teeth, because I forgot to mention I'd already choked a couple times. Even at one point when I was at work, I choked and somebody had to give me the Heimlich maneuver, because I had no bite, and nothing, I couldn't chew food properly. And so I was hoping just to have a functional mouth and a pretty smile. And the pretty smile was just icing on the cake, and I was willing to take just a front tooth that matched my other teeth. It didn't matter to me exactly how great it looked, just to have something that looked nice. So then after the flipper came off, and I had my first set of temporaries after the implants were put in, and I had the first set of temporaries where we were sort of trying to figure out the shape of my teeth and where we wanted to go with that. I was almost overwhelmed with how I looked. I would startle myself in the mirror because the teeth were there, and they felt great. They were solid, and people were looking at me differently. I noticed that right away, where I knew I hadn't changed from the inside. It just was an outward appearance where when I would talk, people would be like, wow. And I wasn't used to that attention. So it was a little hard for me in the beginning. But then at the same time, I started to talk more. I participate in conversation with my friends more. And I stopped using my hand. My hand just stopped going up to my mouth like it used to. When I would laugh, I used to always laugh with my hand up, and I stopped doing that just sort of naturally because the burden of that insecurity was going away, and it was nothing I consciously thought about. And then people seemed to respond to me where they wanted to talk, and with that, then I felt they were seeing not just my teeth, but me. And then my confidence started to really come out, where I started to feel not just Bentley with new teeth. I started just to feel like myself, feel like one person. So it's just evolved with that, where I just, I don't hold back at all. Relationships, I definitely had gotten to a point after my children were born where, you're always interacting with other people, with your kids. At ball games, we were, all kinds of things. We were always around people. And I started to try and bail out of certain situations that I would have to talk. Because it was hard for me to talk. And when I did, sometimes, I would spit or, people couldn't understand me. I had trouble, and sometimes even the fatigue of not having my jaw close. My jaw, I felt just was so tired, and it was just very taxing. And I had too much thought involved in just having a conversation that it was easier to stay home. And I'm not a stay-at-home. I'm very much a people person, and it started to take a toll on me and my relationship with my husband and my children. And then that just piled on itself with not wearing the makeup, and then it affected everything else. What I wore, putting on weight, all of it really stemmed from my mouth, which I had no idea at the time. So with that, now with my smile being fixed, now the layers started to fall off, where I started to not wear the baseball cap, take care of my skin better. I started eating better. I started enjoying what I wore, and it all related to my smile. And I'll be the first to now plan a girls' lunch, which I would have never even participated in before. I avoided pictures. When we would take trips, my husband and the kids and I would take trips, I would never be in the picture. And we've taken several trips now since I've had my teeth fixed, and I am front and center. Which I never would have been, so we can have 5 of us in a picture. So there's definitely that timeline of that my kids will see in their photo albums, where mom wasn't, she was there, but not in a picture. And now it's all of us. So I think of events like that, and it's not so much as a profession for a job, but with the boys, with my twins getting older, and we just took one of them to this academic camp at Duke, and we're meeting a lot of people, interesting people that I never would have talked with before, even strangers. I feel that I can be at my best all the time without thinking about it, without feeling vain. It's not a vanity thing at all. It's just that I don't have any weight on my shoulders anymore. I feel the sense of freedom. Awesome. And just, I'm trying to think of just several situations. It's almost everyday situations that I see somebody at the grocery store. I don't avoid them and turn down another aisle. I give a big smile, and I see what a smile does to other people.